In the bustling heart of New York City, where skyscrapers pierce the sky like ambitious dreams, a sleek black limousine pulled up to the edge of a crowded park. Inside sat Alexander Hawthorne, a billionaire tech mogul whose fortune could buy islands but couldn't mend the void in his heart. His 6-year-old son, Tommy, pressed his nose against the tinted window, eyes wide with wonder at the world outside. "Daddy, look!" Tommy exclaimed, pointing at a ragged little girl sitting alone on a bench, her clothes threadbare and her face smudged with dirt. She couldn't have been more than 5, clutching a worn teddy bear as if it were her only friend. Alexander froze, his phone slipping from his hand. "Daddy, I want her as my sister," Tommy said innocently, his words hanging in the air like a challenge to fate. Little did Alexander know, that single moment would unravel his perfectly controlled life and weave a tapestry of love, loss, and redemption that no amount of money could buy. Hey everyone, if this story is already pulling at your heartstrings, hit that like button right now and subscribe to the channel for more emotional tales that remind us what truly matters in life. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Your support means the world to us. Alexander Hawthorne had built his empire from nothing, rising from a modest background to dominate the world of artificial intelligence. But success came at a cost. 3 years ago, his wife, Elena, had passed away in a tragic car accident, leaving him a single father to Tommy. The boy was his everything, a bright-eyed reminder of the love he'd lost. Yet, Alexander buried his grief in board meetings and mergers, hiring nannies to fill the gaps he couldn't. Tommy, with his mother's curly hair and infectious laugh, often felt the sting of his father's absence. That day in the park was meant to be a rare outing, a quick ice cream stop before another business call. But Tommy's words stopped Alexander cold. "Why her, buddy?" he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Tommy shrugged, his small face serious. "She looks sad, like me sometimes. And she needs a family. We can be hers." The girl, whose name they would soon learn was Lily, was indeed alone. She sat there day after day, as park regulars knew, waiting for her mother who worked endless shifts at a nearby diner. Her father had abandoned them years ago, and poverty clung to them like a shadow. Lily's mother, Maria, scraped by on minimum wage, her dreams of a better life shattered by medical bills from Lily's early health scares. She'd been born prematurely and still carried the fragility of those days. Alexander watched from the car as Lily shared her meager lunch with a stray dog, her kindness shining through the grime. Something stirred in him, a long-dormant empathy. He stepped out, approaching cautiously. "Hello there," he said softly. Lily looked up with wide, wary eyes, but Tommy bounded over, offering her his uneaten cone. "Want some?" "It's chocolate, best kind." For the first in a long time, Alexander saw genuine joy light up a child's face that wasn't his son's. As the sun dipped lower, Alexander found himself talking to Maria when she arrived, exhausted and suspicious. "Your daughter, she's special," he said awkwardly. Maria, a proud woman with calloused hands and unyielding spirit, eyed him warily. "We don't need charity from strangers." But Tommy's plea echoed in Alexander's mind, and he persisted gently. Over the next few days, he returned to the park, bringing toys for Lily and groceries for Maria. It wasn't about pity, it was about connection. Tommy and Lily bonded instantly, playing tag, sharing stories of imaginary adventures. Tommy confided in Lily about missing his mom, and Lily whispered about her fears of being alone if something happened to Maria. Alexander saw in Lily the daughter he and Elena had always dreamed of but never had. Yet, doubts crept in. Was he intruding? Could a man like him, used to buying solutions, truly understand their world? The challenges began to mount, testing the fragile bonds forming between them. Maria's health deteriorated rapidly, a hidden illness, exacerbated by stress and poor nutrition. Doctors diagnosed her with advanced cancer, the kind that money might fight but time had already stolen. Alexander offered to pay for treatments, but Maria refused at first, her pride a barrier thicker than any wall. "I won't let you buy us," she snapped one evening in her cramped apartment, where the wallpaper peeled and the fridge hummed emptily. Tommy, overhearing, burst into tears. "Please, Auntie Maria. Lily needs you, and I need her." It was the boy's raw emotion that cracked Maria's resolve. She agreed, but on her terms, no strings, just help for Lily's sake. Alexander dove in, arranging the best care, but the emotional toll was immense. He juggled hospital visits with his empire, his boardroom decisions now laced with newfound humanity. Rumors swirled in the media: billionaire plays hero to poor family, painting him as a savior or an opportunist, depending on the headline. Amid the chaos, Alexander faced his own demons. Flashbacks of Elena's accident haunted him, making him question if he deserved this second chance at family. One night, after a grueling day, he confessed to Maria in the hospital waiting room. "I lost my wife, and I've been running ever since. Tommy deserves more than a ghost for a father." Maria, weakened but wise, reached for his hand. "Life isn't about deserving, Alex. It's about choosing to love, even when it hurts." Her words ignited a shift. He began prioritizing family over fortune, delegating work and spending evenings reading stories to Tommy and Lily. The children, oblivious to the adult storms, created their own world, building forts from blankets, dreaming of a future where they were siblings forever. But fate dealt another blow. Maria's condition worsened, and she passed peacefully one rainy autumn morning, her last words a plea to Alexander: "Take care of my girl. Make her yours." Grief enveloped them all. Lily, shattered, withdrew into silence, her teddy bear her only comfort. Tommy tried to console her, but his own heart ached. Alexander, overwhelmed, considered walking away. Adoption seemed impossible, with legal hurdles, social services scrutiny, and his own fears of failing as a parent again. Social workers questioned his motives. Is this genuine, Mr. Hawthorne, or a publicity stunt? The process dragged on for months, filled with home visits, psychological evaluations, and court hearings. Alexander's wealth, once an asset, now felt like a curse, as critics accused him of using influence to buy a child. Through it all, the children's bond became the anchor. Tommy stood by Lily during her nightmares, whispering, "You're not alone anymore. I'm your brother now." Alexander hired therapists, but it was simple acts, family dinners, park picnics, that healed them. He sold off non-essential assets, channeling funds into a foundation for underprivileged families, turning personal pain into purpose. Challenges peaked during a custody hearing, where Lily's absent father resurfaced, demanding rights for a payout. Alexander could have crushed him legally, but instead, he appealed to the man's buried decency. "This isn't about money. It's about her happiness." Surprisingly, the father relented, signing away rights after seeing Lily thrive. Resolution came slowly, like dawn after a long night. The adoption was approved on a crisp spring day, the courtroom erupting in cheers from supporters who'd followed their story. Lily officially became Lily Hawthorne, her new name a symbol of rebirth. Alexander married a kind educator named Sarah, whom he'd met through the foundation, adding another layer of warmth to their home. Tommy and Lily grew inseparable, their laughter filling the once empty mansion. Alexander stepped back from his CEO role, focusing on philanthropy that bridged worlds of wealth and want. Years later, as teenagers, Tommy and Lily reflected on that park bench moment. "You pointed at me like I was a puppy in a window," Lily teased. Tommy grinned. "Best decision ever." Their family, forged not by blood but by choice, stood as a testament to resilience. And there you have it, folks, an emotional journey from heartbreak to hope. If this story touched you, smash that like button, subscribe for more inspiring narratives, and share it with someone who needs a reminder that love can conquer all. What's your takeaway? Drop it in the comments below, we read every one. In the end, the message is clear: true wealth isn't measured in dollars, but in the hearts we touch and the lives we change. No matter your background, kindness can rewrite destinies. Family isn't born, it's built, one act of compassion at a time.